it's a kind of surveillance that is rather invisible to the person, and that is at the crossroads of public and private actors. And that is nested in our everyday life through our everyday services, you see? So it's much more, I would say, difficult for the people to identify that they are object of surveillance.
Putting yourself tons of personal information online using Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, people don't really realize the danger when it comes to that. But people have instant benefits. It's immediate, it's granted, and it's free. So it's easy. And it's very difficult to balance something that is free, easy, enjoyable, with something that might be dangerous in a hard-to-predict future.
Jo, bis bald. Ciao.
Without a doubt, the most, I'd say, aggressive data collector is through the mobile phone, because we're taking it with us in the things that we do. And when this acts kind of like a tracking device, we're leaving data traces that not only indicate things like services that we're accessing, but also where we're going and what our behaviours and patterns are. What you can see very quickly is things like, when does that person often go to bed? Are they travelling? Do they call if they're travelling, do they call their partner every morning? Do they call them in the evening? Did they go out for dinner? Who are they talking to? Who are their the social graph is called, meaning the circle of people around them. And so there are different ways that people are then profiled or categorised on the basis of their behaviours. Another thing that's happening is that people, again, through their social media use, are being profiled in terms of maybe their political affiliations, their religion, their sexual orientation, these kinds of things. There's the companies that we're perhaps not surprised are collecting our data. So, for example, the news website we go to, or maybe the use of Google, that kind of thing. But then there's the companies that are tracking our data that we don't see, that we don't kind of choose. So, for example, when we're looking at a website for the news, there'll be lots of other what are called third-party trackers.
Those third party are present, some of them, are present nearly 100% of your navigation. This means that some company that you have not actually endorsed to be present in your navigation, you have not chosen actively, they are still looking what are you doing. And that is present on entertainment, pornography, healthcare, news.
This is what some people call the data brokering industry. Some of the most, I'd say, the growth areas there are things like online dating or websites discussing health issues, for example. The business model for the people who are providing the site is to collect your data and often sell it on, for example, in the case of health sites, to pharmaceutical companies.
I feel like that's why I don't care, because I think, okay, no one wants to know what I'm doing anyway. I mean,
but I think it's really interesting that everyone says, I don't have anything to hide. Like, I have something to hide because I do stuff which is against the law, and I think we all do, in a way. I don't have anything to hide. I don't have any... Well,
if you say you have nothing to fear because you have nothing to hide, so be happy, not worry, I say, okay, fine, turn over the keys to your car, your house, all of your passwords, all of your accounts, medical records, everything. And I'll put them into a special secure lockbox, but I'm gonna keep it, I will keep it for safekeeping. No one, and this is now thousands of people over the last several years in front of multiple audiences, no one was willing to turn over any of that information to me. And I'm asking them to consent.
In a few years, there will be some serious drawbacks coming. For example, if you take the insurance industry, Facebook just released an algorithm that is able to give you some rating, some sort of credit rating, which is kind of weird when you think about it, but totally normal in terms of big data. Facebook is totally able to predict if you will pay back your loan or not. Credit rating is totally predictable. It will happen. In a few years, your personal information, the one you're willingly putting online on Facebook, Twitter, all this thing, will give you a credit rating. And if you end up with a bad credit rating, well, you ask for it. You are the one thinking that you had nothing to hide.
Arguing that you don't care about privacy because you have nothing to hide is no different than saying that you don't care about freedom of speech because you have nothing to say. But the bottom line here is, even if you're not using a given right at this precise moment, other people do. Saying that you don't care about a right because you're not using it personally is the most antisocial thing you can possibly say. What it's saying is that I don't care about other people. Now,